Well, what I like to say is in life, there are false freedoms. There are true freedoms and there are false freedoms. Now, I'm going to get a little philosophical, but this is important before I get into the material today that I'm going to tell you about. There are things that appear to be the thing that will set you free, that will give you the peace, the joy, the desire of your heart, the money, the income, the time that you want. And those things, but a lot of them are false freedoms. In reality, they suck away your time. They drain your bank account. They zap your energy. They trouble your mind. They leave you empty. They don't leave you fulfilled. They leave you empty. It's built on false principles. It's fool's gold, and we all fall victims at some time or another to these false freedoms. And so what I'm going to talk to you about right now is designing your business, designing your life around true freedoms, and freedoms that when you understand the true freedoms, and I'm going to probably not going to reveal anything so revolutionary here tonight, but that if a business makes money, but it sucks all your time, okay, that's not a true freedom. If a business drains your bank account such that you can never get off the dime to even make money, that's not a true freedom. It's gotta ring true to you. So false freedoms, what do? They handicap you. They keep you in bondage, because what they do is they create a scenario where you don't have enough time, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough knowledge. You're worried about losing money. How many of you have lost money to various different degrees in the past, and now you're afraid you're going to lose it again? Okay, well, you can't operate like that either, by the way, because the reality is the only way you really go from stepping on the stepping stone is to get out there, is to do things, is to invest money, is to move forward, right? But most people don't have a proven system, and some of you are so jaded that you've become resistant to change. That is a big danger for everyone. And even I can face that. I'm comfortable with certain things in my business, and there's certain things in my business I'm not willing to change, but I have to constantly relook at everything and say, what could I do to take a quantum leap? What could I do to free up my time and make double the money? What could I do to free up the time and make 5 times the money? What could I do to free up my time and make 10 times the money that I'm making now? There are answers to these questions, and you can't just assume that there's not. There are true freedoms. There are paths for you to get your time back. There are paths for you to be in love with your work and to enjoy your work and to have a lot of playtime. You've got to believe in that. And that's something that I believed in, and I'll tell you how I got there. I think this will be a very interesting story for you, but you've got to acknowledge these true freedoms. They are freeing up your time, awakening your passion, getting you out of bed in the morning excited and ready to go, and having an incredible lifestyle. When I say incredible lifestyle, I'm not talking about hang gliding every 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, let's get real. There's not a lot of us that can even do that, let alone want to do that, right? But lifestyle has to do with your ability to be flexible, your ability to hang out with your kids, your ability to go visit the grandparents, your ability to be grandparents and visit the kids, your ability to go serve in the church, your ability to go serve in the community, your ability to get behind causes and charities. These are the things that I'm talking about. It's giving you an incredible lifestyle of vacations, of fun, of family, of community, of service, and the things that you want to do. Awakening your path to true happiness. And last but not least, thrills and adventures. How many of you take a vacation every month or two? Well, obviously, if you design your life the right way, you'll be able to. Okay? So, with that said, here's the point what I'm trying to say to you before I get into the world's greatest business. Your business, this is very important, your business should be an asset to unlock your true freedom. If your business is drawing you down, putting you further in bondage, and creating false freedoms in your life, then you're in the wrong business, or you don't have the right tools, the right mentors, the right systems, okay? And continuing on that path can be very detrimental to your health. How do I know that? Because I have experienced parts and times of my life where that was my business. My business was lots of ups and downs. Now my business is pretty consistent. And I'm going to tell you the 5 things that made a huge difference in me transitioning to the life that I have today. And these are important for you to understand, I feel like these are very important. Okay, number 1, I made a decision about 4 or 5 years ago. I was going to start impacting people in a group. You want to write these things down because they're very important. Before, I was trying to meet with sellers one-on-one, meet with buyers one-on-one, meet with potential mentoring students or coaching students one-on-one. I was trying to do all the businesses I was in. I was trying to do one-on-one. What happened? There wasn't enough hours in a day to do everything. And so I had a certain level of income, but I felt trapped, and I couldn't go beyond that level of income. And so I made a decision. I impact people in a group. If you make that decision right now, you will be in store for some huge, huge quantum leaps in the future. Not that you can do everything you want to right now, but this was a decision I made 4 or 5 years ago, well before I even knew how to do it. I just decided this is what I'm going to do. I decided to work nationwide. Before, I just only worked in my little area, in my county or surrounding 3 or 4 or 5 counties, or maybe a corner of my state and a corner of the state adjacent to me. I made a decision I was going to work nationwide. Now, there's a reason for that, because it's a lot easier to find leads, find people off the internet and other places nationwide. It's a lot harder to find people and to get people interested in buying property, buying services, buying products, buying software, whatever, learning from you locally. It's far easier. It's 100 times easier to find people nationally, internationally, all over the world than it is to find people in your zip code, okay? And you can build a large database of people who want and are interested in products and services and things that you offer. Number 3, and this is a big one, you've got to get a laser focus on what is your highest and best use. This is something I see most people have no clue on how to do. And it's because most people have unconscious incompetence. They don't know what they don't know. And we all have unconscious incompetence, which is we don't know what we don't know. So the highest and best use, I'm going to describe it for you. It's what is the thing that if you repeat it over and over could allow you to take a quantum leap, could allow you to double your business, make $10,000 in passive income a month, make $20,000 a month. What is the things or set of things that you could do that would be your highest and best use? Okay? So I started to think about that. And I have a real clear understanding of my highest and best uses. I always have a good understanding, or at least I think I have a good understanding of the things that I can do to really impact my business in a monumental way. You've got to come up with those set of knowledge. I made a decision, and I made a decision about 4 or 5 years ago. I said this statement to myself. I said, I do not do anything that is tedious, boring, brings me negative energy, or could reasonably be done by somebody else. I'm going to say that again. I made a rule. I made a standard. The standard said I do not do anything that's tedious, boring, brings me negative energy, or could reasonably be done by somebody else. And that rule I have not lived perfectly, but there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about that rule, that I don't try to implement it in my life in some way. And there are many things that I do that are tedious and are boring, but there's many things because I have the rule that I get rid of. I let other people do. I keep my energy positive, even though there are negative things going on around. All the time there's negative people, there's negative circumstances, okay? And then number 5, focus on your lifestyle. Focus on the lifestyle that you want to have. Focus on designing that lifestyle. You're going to decide the lifestyle first and then find the business models that will support that lifestyle. That's the opposite of what most people do. Most people just go out there and start putting their foot in the ground and start moving forward, and then they find out, hey, they arrive someplace and they find out, man, this isn't the life I was destined to lead. This isn't really where I wanted to go. So the keys to achieving fast growth, I said, leverage. Okay, what's it going to take to double your income? The only way you're going to get from where you are right now and just really blow open sales and revenues and income and lifestyle is to use leverage. You've got to get other people. You've got to impact people in a group, impact more than just one-on-one. You've got to have other people impacting other people even when you're not available. Okay, focus. This is important. What is your focus? What is your focus? One question I'll ask you, what kind of influential people are in your phone? Who are you hanging out with? Who are you spending time with? Who are you talking to? Okay, that's important because your focus is you're going to make a lot more money if you're hanging around really successful people. who are CEOs of companies that are really successful. And now, once again, sometimes some of you just have to leave the house a little bit more, but focus. Who's in your phone? Energy. You can never, ever argue with your energy. You only have so much energy. In the day, you only have so much energy. You've got to preserve your energy. You've got to make sure that in those moments that you're pumped up and you're ready to go, you've got to try to preserve that energy, not let it get derailed by negativity, by bills, by all the myriad of things, paperwork, all the stuff that could just bring us down and take us to a grinding halt. Okay? So those are 3 keys to achieve fast growth. So now we talk about leverage, because that's what we're going to talk about now in the world's greatest business. I made that decision, and that was a big decision for me. And from that time, I have looked to impact people in a group. It doesn't mean I never meet with a person. That's not the point. The point is I am trying to consistently look for ways that I can impact people in a group, that I can get 100 people to follow me, 1,000 people to follow me, 100,000 people to follow me, to become part of my team, to be part of my organization, to believe in the things that I believe in. That's part of my strategy and part of my plan. And it should be a part of your strategy and part of your plan, because it's really a decision you need to make. Are you going to continue to do whatever you're doing now? And some of you might be very successful with what you do right now. But I think it would be fair to say that if we do have some very successful people on the line, they'll tell you they were very successful because they got other people to buy in. They got other people to come on board. They got agents. They got, other groups of people to endorse what they were doing. And so it's really a decision. You're going to probably make less money if you impact people in the group. We're going to make a lot more money more often. Okay, so the frequency of money is going to be a lot more if you learn how to do the things I'm going to teach you here today. Okay, so now we're going to get into, oh boy, this goes through every single one of these, doesn't it? Okay, that wasn't by design. Okay, now we get into the world's greatest business. What did I tell you was the world's greatest business? It is seminars, live events. And the reason why is because you don't have any overhead. Okay, you don't have to have a lot of employees. And you can target the people and make sure you get people who actually are interested in what you have to sell and to offer. And in the live events, people spend a lot of money. People spend money to buy all kinds of things in live events, don't they? They spend money to buy leads. They spend money to buy software. They spend money to buy services, consulting. They spend money to buy products, consumer products. They spend money to buy information products. They spend money to learn how to do certain things. They spend money for courses, universities, all kinds of things, myriads of things. Okay, and I'm going to now peel back the onion a little bit here today and tell you a little bit more about why this is the world's most profitable business. Well, I'm going to say it's the worst profitable business, but I will say it's a very lucrative business, and I'll say it's the greatest business because you can literally build a huge following of people, but you don't have the day-to-day responsibilities. This is huge. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. I know for a fact that I could go out here and run a local business. I don't want to because I don't want the day-to-day responsibility of that business. I'm into lifestyle design, and you should be also. Okay, but here's the 4 things that I love about this. Number 1, extremely profitable. Number 2, it doesn't take a lot of capital. It's not a lot of risk. I'm not going to say it's no risk because that wouldn't be true. Obviously, like anything in business, there can be risk, okay? But you manage that risk as best that you can. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Number 3, leads to a big back-end dollars. Leads to sales of other products and services that can make you a lot of money. I'll describe what I mean by that in a second. And you get to travel, hang around influential people. There's a reason why CEOs hang out at events. There's a reason why very influential people, because other influential people hang out at these events. And so when CEOs go to the event, they go to speak, granted, but they also go to hobnob with other successful, influential people. And that's the way it rolls.